and welcome to Transform Your Life, You Under Reconstruction. And today we have with us Miss Yvonne Harold with HOBFI, helping others, helping others become financially independent. I love that she could create an acronym for herself. Welcome, Yvonne.
Well, thank you. I'm just super excited to be here with you today. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a blessing to have you. So this interview for wellness and business, I wanted to bring Yvonne here. We actually belong to a networking group together that's very heart-centered and very into building genuine relationships with people in order to build your business. Because the best business has always been and will always be referrals. True or true?
True.
All right. So Miss Yvonne, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business? What do you do?
Okay, so a little bit about my business. Well, HOBFI, I have to tell you, was a God-given name. So I knew that I was supposed to go in business, and I wanted to do something. I didn't quite know what it was. And I think one of the beautiful thing about this is that it comes from what I was already good at. It came from what I was already doing. I just didn't have a name for it. And so he just began to deal with me. I mean, wee hours in the morning about, I got to get this name and just solidify these things. And I'm telling you, I just began to think about what I do. And these words just began to come. And I remember, just hearing that you can be authentic. Names don't have to be something you've heard of before. You can create. And so when I took what I was already doing, helping people. So I'm in the finance industry. So everything about what I do is just helping people to financially get to a better place and then also be able to leave a legacy for their family. So helping others become financially independent, everything I do connects with helping people monetarily. So let me just say, not just about money, but money taps into every area of our lives. It affects everything about our life. So absolutely, hands down. So I was already doing helping people with budget. And that's where I actually literally started, like many years ago. Like 20 years ago. I started out just myself, first of all, was broke, didn't understand about managing and budget because I wasn't taught. But I thank God that he taught me through that by making a lot of mistakes. Because I made the mistakes, I learned how to budget very well. And that's the first thing I started helping people with. Then I realized that as I was helping people with their budget, they had a problem with their credit. So I learned about how credit impacts, your money. After I learned about that and saw that there was a lot of people that fell in this category, another element I added was insurance. Why is that? Because we need to be able to leave a legacy, and also we need to be protected. So with all these three entities, along with when I do people budget to help them to be able to save money, this is what I do. Because if I can help them get financially to a good place, mentally, it helps them to be to a better place. That's a whole lot less they have to deal with. So that's what I do. My motto is that I take away stress and give you a break to allow you to now be a part of your own rescue in your own lives. So thank you for that question.
Thank you so much. And I think it's such a shame that actually our education system makes it to where we cannot actually educate our children and our people on finances. I just think that's just incredible that it's not only discouraged, but it's taken out of everything unless you get to adult education where they make you pay to learn about how money works, not just in the theater of our country, but basically just how money works within world economy.
Absolutely.
And so I love that you help people with the basics first.
Absolutely.
And what's going on right now. And it doesn't matter if you're a business owner. This is affecting everyone. So we're talking about business owners and consumers, and we're all consumers. But what's going on here with COVID-19 just in our local area, not just here, but like countrywide, um, a lot of unrest, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of uncertainty running around. Of course, Texas is like, yeah, we're going to be the first ones to open up everything. Yeehaw, right? So
Mm. Yes, do it big,
do
right?
it big, do it big in Texas. But, you know, some of us, like I know I myself, has had to make some decisions about the direction of what my company is doing. So with what you do, has there been any epiphanies, any aha moments, any shifts that you've decided to take in order to not just open up when,
Mhm.
uh, start over again, go into a new normal when doors open up worldwide, but like to actually keep working during this period? Why don't you share with us some of those pivots that you made?
Well, I have to tell you, the thought of the stay-at-home order uh, was so surprising and shocking, but also necessary, right? So when you first hear that, depending on what kind of business you're in, you could be really happy or you can be scared, right? So I was like, oh, I get a chance. I can't go anywhere. Okay. So then I'll just use that time to catch up on some things, right? For me, what I didn't realize is that, I love people. I love being in the presence of people. So I had to make some adjustment. So it really wasn't about all that I was experiencing on my end, but really now another layer of the people that I come in contact or who I'm talking to, that I'm dealing with another layer with them, because now it has affected them. Oh my gosh, if they was already having issues, now they got more now than they ever had before. And so one thing that was I got, when you're meeting people, they get to see you, hear you, and you click quicker. But when they don't really see you and they just hear you, then it takes a longer process for them to get warm to you. And so I'm appreciative of the Zoom technology. Why is that? Because it still allows you to see. So what I've learned through this process is that a lot of clients would say, is there any way that I can meet you? I was like, no, but you can meet me. Let's do a Zoom. I said, I promise. If we meet through Zoom, you will have a similar experience as if we were sitting right next to each other. And so just making that shift and being more sensitive and aware of what other people are experiencing. So yeah, we got business, but we got life. And before we can get to any kind of business, we got to deal with people's lives and talk with them where they are. So we got to allow them to share and decompress, whatever's on their heart, whatever's on their mind. We need to be great listeners. So it's like we become counselors and whatever that client needed at that time. But the beautiful part is that once they get that out, then now we can shift and move into the things that we need to. So that's how it has changed. It's taking more time to do what used to take a little time to do. And so just allowing for that, allowing that extra time, and then enjoy, be in that process with people, right? Wherever they are. So that means that if we need to talk 5 times, that's what we'll do, right? Until they get to a great place, then we can address whatever we need to address. So that's been a shift. It shifted also with me, that I realized, wow, I really, really do thrive, dealing with people one-on-one. Okay, so although now I can't go anywhere, it took care of one issue, right? Now I'm not busy running around, but it didn't keep me from being still busy. So I had to really make some adjustment and think about that. And just because you're busy don't really mean you're helping people, nor does it really mean you're doing business, right? So
Right.
we all got challenges from every end.
And you know what I love about what you just shared is that you can take what you've learned during this time with connecting with people and realizing that you have to connect with people at the level that they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And you really need to make the connect, right? Before you even approach the
Mm-hmm.
sale,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
because, oh my gosh, people just hate being sold to.
That's right.
They love buying things, right? And they love being able to spend money, but they just don't want anyone telling them how to
Mhm.
spend their money. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think that even when the world opens back up again, we get back out there, you can actually continue to do those principles of connect,
Hmm.
right? Even when they're right in front of you. And even
Absolutely.
though the connection is faster when you're within with someone else's energies and when
Yeah,
you're
right.
present, right? Um, Helping to build that deeper connection, right? That's actually that idea of customer service I totally love
Hmm.
about what you're doing and your approach. I think it's very necessary. It's one of the reasons why I love being in the BNI, is because it encourages genuine relationships with people in order to build your business. And I love the whole giver's gain, where
Absolutely.
I help you, right? It's a selfless help. I'm going to put in my time, my effort to find you referrals and build relationships with you, so I know what you do better, and I know who you are, and I know how you do your business and deal with your customers. And in this way, then I get business in return. So I really
Absolutely.
like that concept.
Love it.
And so that was the connect and the business shift portion. But, you know, we can't deny that this has increased the stress and anxiety on ourselves.
Hmm.
And we cannot deny how important, even cave dwellers, because my son and my husband have been training for this moment their whole lives, right? However, they too are experiencing effects from not being with other human beings,
Mm.
because we are society beings.
Yes.
We need to be in each other's presence.
Yes.
We need to see each other and talk to each other. And oh my gosh, you don't even know how much I miss hugs. I'm like
Yeah.
hugging
What?
my family all the time. They're like, get off me, right? I really miss that, because that was part of my
That's
culture.
right.
That's who I am, and it really has affected me. So everyone does their own thing. They all have their own approaches to how they deal with stress and how they deal with anxiety. And um, I think a uh, very unique time in our history has been created for us to actually focus on ourselves. I don't think there has ever been in our recorded history a time where we were given this time to refocus and to shift and to pay attention to ourselves. So, what have you done personally to do your self care? How have you been able to deal with the stressors and the anxiety of what this has done? And really, what you do. And you just talked about a bunch of busy, really busy.
Hmm.
You have a lot of calls. You had a
Hmm.
call before we had this interview, very
Yes.
early in the morning. So lots of wheels turning, right? Lots of plates are spinning. How are you taking care of yourself to make sure that you can continue the good fight and to increase your success and to really make sure that you don't crash and burn?
Oh, excellent question. So glad you asked that. I First of all, I think um, just being real with where you are, whatever that looked like, acknowledging that. So I can say that I'm grateful to God. You know, Devotion, prayer is so important to me. So what helps me is being in routine. Really helps me. So, in routine for me looks like, I get up early in the morning, go into prayer, go into devotion. Then I go into devotion with others. So early in the morning, 5 o'clock, every morning, I'm doing a devotion with a group of women. So I'm doing a study. So before that at 5, I've already exercised 30 minutes. So exercise is important because it helps to relieve stress, makes you feel good. So when I say routine, I'm seriously, so mentally, physically, and emotionally, I have to tap into all those areas and make sure that I am well. And so as busy as I'm being, I do some things that help me to be able to make it through from getting up early, 4 o'clock in the morning to when I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. So also monitoring my calendar, knowing that I'm only human, I can't do everything. Trusting God to be God of everybody else, and then I do my part is huge for me. And when I get out of balance or out of sync, out of my lane, right, I recognize that and I can quickly just pull back. So that means that when I need to say no, knowing what you need to say no to, and when it's okay to say yes. Every good thing is not a God thing, don't mean you're supposed to be doing it. And so I think
I
a lot
love
of that is
that.
that
I
we
love
think
that.
that we have to be everything to everybody, and then we forget about our body, right? So if you're not taking care of your body, then you ain't gonna have no business, and nothing else ain't gonna really matter. So I think understanding that first and foremost, and that I just truly believe what the word tells me, everything I do is as unto to God. So then if I'm honoring him, then I have to be true to myself and not think about doing it, but do the things that even hard. And so for me, it helps me to be in routine. And I learned that about myself. I got out of routine, and it is amazing. It don't take much. But when you get out of routine just a little bit, it rocks your world. So it seemed like my time was just going by so quick, and I wasn't getting anything done, and just felt like I was just going around like a little rat on a wheel. And then I had to just pull back and say, wait a minute, something ain't right. And what was not right was I was out of routine, meaning I stopped doing some of the things that breathed life to me. So like journaling, that breathed life to me in ways that I didn't really realize until you have not done it in a couple of weeks and you realize what's going on. Because that was another way that I expressed myself to God. So what I'm saying to you all, it is important to really get into it, who you are and your little quirks and all that, so that you can make adjustments. So when you come in contact with other people, then you know how to relate to them. You know whether it's you or whether it's them. And that's important to know. And set those boundaries, even
That
for
is
yourself.
beautiful. So we got what I got out of this. This is what I heard, is that you had to learn to become aware of your needs, right? And then you had to set a daily routine for yourself, and for you, that is starting off your day with your exercise and your devotion. But you do have a routine, and to journal your thoughts and your ideas, right? And to make those necessary shifts. So that is wonderful. And now we're coming to the end of our time. I want to thank you so much, much mahalo, Miss Yvonne Harold, for coming here and sharing that insight. And I really, really, really loved every good thing is not a God thing. I think that was actually a wonderful, you're going to have to tag that. That's going to have to be like your moniker. I thought that was very beautiful and insightful. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us here today. This was Transform Your Life, You Under Reconstruction. And it is always my intention to bring you content that helps you to become the best version of yourself. So be kind, be happy, be love, right? And everyone take care of yourself. Make sure that you do self-care for yourself every day, and give yourself that necessary breathing time so that you know where you are, you know who you are, and you know what you have to do.
Well said. Thank you.
Bye.